friends.
Happy
Hi,
Monday.
Susan.
Susan is
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Oh,
And
so
we're
happy it's
here.
Monday. I get to hang out with Angela and all my friends.
This is the best part of Monday.
It is.
No, I got to go to the chiropractor this morning, which is always a good
That
thing.
is one of your favorite things.
Well, the needles. It's a weird thing to look forward to, but I do. Well, the good bad news is the sessions I have with the chiropractor are making my back hurt less for longer. So now I'm going 3 weeks in between.
More
visits.
frequent.
Less frequent.
Or less frequent.
Wow.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Hi,
again,
Marcy.
Good admit. Marcy is here. Jan. Mary. We were just talking about you, Mary. Your ears burning. She said she was going to be in bed watching us.
Yeah, so. I know.
I have relocated for this month to my Halloween wall. You can't read it, but it says, well, there's a spider here. Portrait of spider. Oh. And then Sheila.
Hey,
and then
Sheila.
This says, eat, drink, and be scary.
Be scary. I am ready. I am ready to, start walk around the house in darker, moodier makeup. My husband has a magic cape from years ago. I might just start walking around in that in the house, wear my witch hat. I am feeling
Hey, Michelle.
the spookiness.
It's the spoopy season. I don't actually like scary. I just like moody. I like the ambiance, the dark.
Exactly.
Oh, and my mantle is fully ready for Halloween, so I'm going to have to do a reel showing everything that I've added to it to make it extra dark and or creepy-ish. It's not super creepy, it's got the hint of creep.
Yeah. Well, it's really the only time of year where I would feel comfortable, dressing a little bit, more in a costume-like manner.
I just need the hint of an excuse, and I will do it. So, I'm excited. I still, though, usually if I know I have a Halloween party, like I've been planning my outfit for months, but that's not the case this year.
Yeah, I got invited to a neighborhood party in my neighborhood. I've never gone, but I'm considering going just to do it, just to dress up.
I have 2 parties. That's the problem. Like this might be one of my outfits. This tiny baby witch's hat right here. Because I can't find my big witch's hat. I don't know where it is.
Susan, do you really wear your witch's hat all the time? Maybe I should go put on my
Sheila needs to know where you got your witch's hat.
Mine, I got it when my daughter, let's see, she's 25 now. I got it when she was 18. We did a Harry Potter birthday when she turned 18, and I thought it kind of had a sorting hat look to it, but not exactly. Let me see.
She go grab it.
Like it's one of those things that I think, the people who have that aversion to skin disorders where certain patterns look like a skin disease. I kind of feel like it might set a person off if they have that condition. Have you heard of that?
No, I have a skin condition. It doesn't bother me.
No, there are people who don't like visual patterns that look
like the sporadic or
just that look like it's something like a cellular disease. There's a name for it, I swear. Okay, but I kind of feel like it kind of looks like that a little bit.
I'm next to a glowy cabinet. I think I should turn it on. We're gonna have some ambiance,
Yeah,
some
it's kind of
mood
a sorting. It's not
lighting.
exactly, but I'm not gonna. Maybe later.
Me too, Jan. My house is
Oh, maybe I should.
quite.
My hair looks like
It's
crap.
my house is cozy. Like it's never ever very bright. Like even in the I mean, I have blackout curtains on the front to keep it as cool and as dark as possible.
Yeah. Well, I would say that my house is very dark because of the, it's like normal ceilings, mid-century. There isn't a lot of windows. And I liked it, except for when I started the YouTube channel. It is very hard to film when you don't have a lot of big windows, or I'm guessing a lot of, what do they call those
Natural
big
light.
box lights? Those.
Yeah.
I don't have those. It's really hard to film when you don't have lights.
Yeah.
It's limiting for options of where to be. But yeah, I like the
YouTube
moody dark room. Yeah.
I like my house. I like the lighting. It's very it's my cozy space. Even though my ceilings are pretty high.
I know. You've got some good
the age of the house. This could be a long show tonight, y'all. My lips aren't cooperating. But on that note, red leather, yellow leather.
Claudia's here. Hi, Claudia.
Hey, Claudia. We shall begin. Oh, there's a special. You have to tell me about the special slide at the beginning.
Okay, so
yeah, overhead lighting is not. I do not like overhead lighting. I'm a lamp girl. I'm a lamp girl.
Okay, so I got an email from Joyce the day after I did the Arthur Rackham slideshow history highlight. And remember how when I was looking at this cat and I said I was looking, the name of the cat picture. I kept looking up the name of the cat picture. I couldn't find what Grimm's fairy tale went with this picture. Well, Joyce found the Grimm's fairy tale, and it is called Jorinde and Joringel. And I took a snippet of the Grimm's fairy tale so we could get an idea of like kind of how the story begins. And I just thought it'd be fun to share. So it is there was once an old castle that stood in the middle of a deep, gloomy wood, and in the castle lived an old fairy. Now this fairy could take any shape she pleased. All the day long she flew about in the form of an owl or crept about the country like a cat. So that's where the picture comes from. And I'm just so pleased that now I don't have to think about it anymore. And now I know. When any young man came within 100 paces of her castle, he became quite fixed and could not move a step till she came and set him free, which she would not do till he had given her his word never to come there again. But when any pretty maiden came within that space, she was changed into a bird, and the fairy put her into a cage and hung her up in a chamber in the castle. There were 700 of these cages hanging in the castle, and all with beautiful birds in them. Wow. And the Jorinde and Joringel is they're a couple who go wandering into the woods.
Oh no!
And
he gets stuck, and she gets turned into a bird.
He gets stuck. She gets turned into a bird, and then he has to find a way.
How do they get free?
Well, he has a dream, and he finds a way to disarm the witch's powers, and he is able to free Jorinde. So it does turn out kind of happy. So, but now I know Jorinde and Joringel, Grimm's fairy tale.
I had to get my notes for the history highlight. I was like, oh, I have everything ready. That wasn't true. So we're starting with your celebrating collection.
Well, this is just, pick something to collect. I mean, of course, I like the heads, but I like the obelisks as well. I mean, you could make a phallic joke there, I know, but I really like the heads, probably most, just because it's very, ruins, Greek, neoclassical.
Yeah, I like the one on the table the best.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, what That's an awesome collection to have. I collect stone heads. Here they are.
I want to like a garden of stone heads.
Yeah, anywhere. In the house, outside of the house. They can
Randomly.
go anywhere.
Stuff growing all around them.
Ooh, yeah. Moss and yeah.
So my celebrating collection is a segue to a new segment too. But I just like, especially with, there's going to be a lot of holiday buffets, etc. coming up. Find new ways to do your silverware, or even for every day. Just, I like the silverware in this silver creamer pitcher there.
Mm-hmm.
And then those look like celery vases that they have turned into silverware vases.
What they are celery vases. I need a celery vase in my etched silver plate collection.
Well, these are clear glass on the right. Those are glass on the right.
Oh, wow.
And a spooner, which has spoons in it.
Oh, okay.
But a celery vase, it was a tall, wide top vase because only rich people had celery in the late 1800s.
Yeah. I know celery was a big deal. I know they had the celery longer bowls and dishes.
Yeah. There were vases.
I did not realize they had a celery vase. So.
One of my brightest geranium pieces is a celery vase from the Adams Company in the late 1880s. Yeah, this is just one of those wild things. And then I found a postcard that has Uncle Sam on it, and sitting on his table is a vase full of celery.
Oh my gosh.
It's so funny.
I want to see it.
Yeah. And I'm like, so talk about Uncle Sam not being of the people. He's got a celery vase. Anyway. But then, so then I went down, silver. I love all these random cut glass ones.
My God, Angela.
Look at the cloche.
That picture, you don't even know. I remember I saw that picture maybe a couple years ago, and I looked for that caddy to hold silverware, and it was sold out. I couldn't find it.
So Godinger makes it.
I know. I know this. They don't make it anymore.
Oh, no. You can currently buy it on Wayfair.
2 years, maybe it was COVID. I don't, can you say COVID on internet anymore? But
I want one.
During the time that should not be named, I was looking for that cloche with that caddy. I need it so bad.
I know. I love it. Because
guys, look at this.
Perfect. Because you can keep your silverware in it. Oh. Just move it when you to your buffet or your table when you need to serve people, and it keeps the dust off of it.
It's so good,
right?
Yes, I love this.
But I also love all the mismatched clear glass on the left as well.
I love. That's true.
Now all of these, with the exception of the cloche, because I would never put plastic under that cloche, but you could use these other things for plastic silverware if you're doing that and it will instantly elevate your buffet selection.
That is actually a really good idea, to not be afraid to combine maybe some clear plastic utensils with something fancier. Just try it out. I bet you're right. I bet it looks great.
Why not?
Why not?
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, and sometimes that includes plastic silverware. So, but you can still use the pretty things with your plastic. Mix it up. And so the new segment,
titillating tablescapes. What do you guys think? Titillating. So as we get into the Thanksgiving and Christmas season, everyone's starting to think about holiday dinners and setting some nice tables. we thought it would be appropriate to start looking and sharing some tablescape ideas. And I liked these for autumn because they were both examples of combining autumn with blue transferware. And I thought both of them were really nice. I thought that it works really well together. The one on the left, I mean,
Yeah.
is basically a
Is
white
that like a large bowl sitting on top like of a clear hurricane or something?
on the left.
Yeah. The centerpiece.
Oh, it could be. I for some reason I just thought it was
Or
like a
some kind of pedestal.
tall pedestal compote
Okay.
type of a
I'm
thing.
just trying to.
But what's a nice idea about this is it shows how if you had a basic white table setting, there's just one blue transferware plate and then the little acorn plate, and then some more decorative blue transferware as more of the decoration centerpiece
Mhm.
area. And it looks really, that was really fun for
I
autumn.
know,
You
some
don't always
pumpkins.
think, yeah, you don't always think blue for autumn. And so I thought this would be a fun one to start with.
I love the demijohn on the table. The big green glass thing. I believe that's a wine demijohn.
Okay.
Which is, it's a large glass thing. It's used in winemaking, but
Okay.
I believe that's the term for that
I
one.
would just say it's
Green.
a giant jug or carafe, but now I know
I'm pretty sure it's a
the
demijohn.
demijohn.
Yeah. Don't quote me, but it has the shape and
Okay.
they're usually not clear. So
Okay.
there are some that are clear, but depending on the grape variety, I believe they would want different colors because of
Yes.
that whole UV light situation.
Yeah. Jan, I agree. Like the demijohn holding the just autumn leaves. It's so great. Why are you laughing?
Sheila said that to hold a year's worth of wine for you. You'd have to have a really good seal. Yeah, for sure. I do not have a tablescape this because I went down a few rabbit holes, as you will see. I did do an inspiring interior, and this is someone who posted in my Weird and Wonderful Finds group on Facebook. This is her home, and all of her ceilings are repurposed tin ceilings that were ripped out of churches and other buildings.
Oh,
Like, can you see the texture? Can you see it?
I do.
It's
I'm the close up of it where it looks like just
that's
trim
a
or
completely different room.
that's a completely different room.
Yeah, these are two different rooms.
I mean, I can recognize that center molding is a tin ceiling, but
Yeah.
it looks like do you think it's just tin border that they put next to each other?
No, if I wish maybe I'd made the pictures bigger. Well, because it just wouldn't let me make it bigger. But so apparently in tin ceilings there's like the centerpiece and then there were like filler pieces plus
Okay.
cornice. But no, like if you zoomed in, like if you have the capability to do so, you will see like the centerpiece on the right hand side. That's all very like decorative,
Yes.
but then all surrounding it just kind of looks like fish scales, but
Yes,
it's
that's what I
tin
was
as
wondering.
well. Yeah, it's
Okay.
just a different style.
Okay.
And then here's another room.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and I really would love tin ceilings in my bedroom. This is a goal. Yeah, there's a restaurant here. It's called 10202
Cute.
because it's they have really good cocktails. But they have all the original 10 ceilings up in there and it's very neat. But this is her name. And the group that it was shared in, which is the group responsible for my uranium madness. So you can thank them for that. Now
Oh,
yours.
I just picked some pictures that had, of course, the old tile stone floors. These kind of pictures are the ones that I stare at longingly
I want that tapestry on the right.
all the time. These are the kinds of pictures that really get me going.
Mhm.
I love just the old world European look. I love it. I can just find them all the time and
Yeah.
share them. So
But
I
I
just
love the
more.
one on the left because of the super modern window
Yeah,
with it.
I love it. It's good. And the ceiling, the old rustic ceiling.
But when I see ceilings like that, I just think bugs. Like, ooh, bugs. But,
Yeah,
there are ways to
I
take care of
love
that.
it.
This is yours too. I
This
like
is
this
mine too.
as
I
well.
just really liked this. And I like, of course, I guess I have already chosen pictures like this with the rattan chairs, but I like it. I like the combination of that kind of old French style, shabby style with the bamboo or rattan, whichever you want to call it. I like it. I don't know. And just the comfy cushions. I like it.
It's lovely.
It's like a dreamy picture to me.
Here, I'm like zooming in, trying to see through the
The back through the mirror.
whatever's being reflected, because there's some kind of like birdcage light thing. It's very neat.
There's 2 different chandeliers. Yeah, it's curious if you look
Oh, I
into
see the
the
second
mirror.
chandelier.
Yeah. It
Hmm.
is, you know what? This would be a good kind of French treatment to like a beach cottage. Sheila's saying it looks beachy and beautiful.
Yeah,
And if you had a beach cottage, most of the time people will do them very casual, comfortable,
but very
or modern,
coastal.
but rarely do you see them do it kind of like with maybe like a French twist. And that would be really nice.
That'll be our beach house.
That would be our beach house.
Hmm. Hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know what the treatment is on the wall, but it kind of looks like a tin ceiling.
Kind of does. Yeah, that's the thing. You know what? Is that this isn't something I would choose to do in my house. I'd be like, I probably wouldn't, but the picture, the whole composition, I really enjoy. I really like it.
It's very
Um,
nice.
yeah, and I do find that sometimes I will like something, but I know I might not be able to handle it in my own house. But I can handle it in someone else's house.
Hmm.
God.
Or a beach house.
Or my beach house.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So my media must is a little different because I found this artist while on Instagram.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna have to make this bigger so I can read it because I got this from her website. It's her artist statement. She's a glass artist, and her work is based on rejuvenation and reuse of American pressed glass, which we all know and love.
Hmm.
Most of her material she gets from cullet piles, which are, the
Hmm.
leftover
Scraps.
glass.
Hmm.
So she goes to stockyards, and then she melts it scrap by scrap. She flame works it to create her sculptures. And mainly they're all from, as we know, most glass manufacturers are no longer in business. And then she talks about, the mid 1800s, 1900s, press glass, huge industry, employed thousands of Americans, a whole lot here in West Virginia. And these designs, there's just, this glass is everywhere. We all know. We go out, we look at thrift stores, we see it. and some of us buy it and love it. But now that it's no longer popular, it's just, it's clogging. So she wants to give it a second life. So when she began, she started doing it, and I identify with her because when I started my crafting, I would tear apart old and broken jewelry and repurpose it because it was cheap and readily available. So she found a huge barrel of old pink glass behind the studio, and it was broken Easter dishes with rabbits and chickens, and she loved the color, and it melted similarly to what she worked with. So she looked into the history of it, and that's when she started, looking for those remnants to use. So, and now people send her broken glass or pieces that they don't want anymore, or they want her to give new life to. And then her newest artworks, which I will show you some, it talks about like the feminine perspective and how themes in her personal life, and she uses glass objects as characters in her work, all about the divine feminine, and there's some spirituality and symbolism within the mundane. So, and then she talks about her influences, which I went down a rabbit hole on them after I read it was Gertrude Abercrombie and Agnes Pelton. And they're surrealist with mysticism, symbolism, grief, the dark beauty of the unknown. And so she creates characters that can sometimes flow from one work to the next. And now let me... Yes. So here is some of her work. It's just...
Oh my gosh.
To die for. So this is from jadeite glass.
It looks like an altar.
Right? And so it's found so the nude lady was made by McKee around 1915. There are plates from like the children's tea sets. The glass is Fenton. Various glass beads are incorporated. The hand was from a jewelry stand. This is the original nude lady because there was an outcry and they put stuff on her after 1915. But here are some close-ups of this work in particular. Like if you just the leaves and the flowers, and
wow.
I mean, it looks like a glass full of bubbles, it
does.
I mean, I wish I could shine a black light on it because McKee jadeite normally glows. So there was that one, and I forget. Wait, this one is called "Vision of the Night Muse in Jade." She did this one last year. It is no longer on the market. It now exists in a private collection.
Wow. So let me just ask, the florals, what look like, the botanicals and things, is that melted glass into other shapes?
It's all glass. And look, there's little mushrooms. There's I can stare at these for hours. If you go to her website, you can zoom in, you can see just there's more. Okay, hold on. There's more. So this one, the milk glass one with these cherries that she has incorporated.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, so it's cherries in milk. What was it called? With creamer and compote. And then if you look, it looks like the compote itself is melting down. Mm-hmm. The cherries look so real, and if you just, it's just for the eyes. It's just I can just look at it for days and days.
It is.
And if you're near New York, she has work displayed in a gallery right now, the Heller Gallery.
Wow.
I wish I could go, but I can't. It's too far. And then this, all this amethyst here on the right, hummingbirds with column in helio and lavender. And that's from this year.
Beautiful. I love the color. It's so pretty.
And then this is one of her
Oh, wow.
most recent pieces as well. It's just a fantasy.
It
It's
is.
all the blues, and I love
It's
how the circles, it looks like, the dolphin is talking. It looks like
uh-huh.
sound moving
Mhm.
between them.
Yeah, I see it. I see that. Okay. Wow.
So, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I highly
Very
recommend go. I will put her website in the chat.
okay, that's good. I mean, it's
Um,
truly it's mesmerizing as you look at it. I mean, and how awesome to see a contemporary artist that's being shown in a New York gallery today that it kind of incorporates, our world of loving vintage
right.
glass.
Yeah.
It's marvelous, really.
Well, and it's just giving new life to, because I mean, the color is just laying there. Broken pieces get thrown away all the time,
Mhm.
Um, and I just like, that it's just it's the best kind of art for me. So
Yes.
it's just
Very inspiring. I am blown away. I'm blown away. It's
so
nice.
I think that's the last one, but I highly recommend going to her Instagram. She also, one of the installations at the gallery right now, she just took like 44 different pieces of milk glass and like just reworked them in funny ways.
Hmm.
So like,
Wow.
it's definitely worth seeing. It's very cool.
Wow.
So
Wow. That's wonderful. I
it's
can't wait.
my
I can't wait to go explore her site. I am looking forward to that.
that is my media must.
Well, after your mesmerizing and thrilling media must, I'm giving y'all Harry Potter, which is not a bad thing, but uh, familiar to us all. I thought it might be appropriate, having since Robbie Coltrane just passed away, dear Hagrid. So I thought, well, I might as well just choose it for, this time of year. I mean, I think Harry Potter, whether you decide to reread the series or watch the movies, that they are very appropriate for the witchy wizarding season of October. And I think, they're a wonderful story. It's a wonderful story. It's great about friendship and growing up and learning courage and perseverance. And I liked Harry Potter. I mean, I remember picking up the first one. I think Skylar was 1 or 2 years old. It's like 1999.
Yeah, the characters of Harry Potter were friends of mine for a long time, and I still read Harry Potter fan fiction
Yeah.
because it explores themes that the author wouldn't want explored. So I'm okay with that. Um, but yeah, Harry Potter did a lot of good things for a lot of people, but
Yeah.
I have to separate the art from the artist in this case.
No comment. I'm not going to say a darn word. Moving on.
Okay, now since we're in, I wanted to delve into Samhain, which is a Celtic fire festival that most of our Halloween traditions are derived from. Um, the It was to celebrate the harvest and to bring, because It's getting dark, y'all. It's going to be the dark half of the year coming up. Normally, it was a 3-day festival to welcome the dark half of the year, but Samhain itself is from midnight on the 31st until midnight on November 1st, and the veil between the living and the dead is believed to be the thinnest, which is held true amongst all kinds of religions and beliefs around this time of year with, Dia de los Muertos, etc. And so there was a large community fire. Look at this creepy thing. So they would have a large bonfire because everybody was working so hard to bring the harvest in. A lot of people didn't have the time to keep their home fires burning, literally. And they didn't really need it because up until this point, it was relatively warm. But part of this was lighting this huge bonfire. And then people would take embers from that fire home to rebuild their own hearth. And so to carry these embers, they made lanterns. Lots of poor people, metal lanterns weren't easily accessible. So they would carve lanterns out of turnips or rutabagas, which are extremely hard to carve. And they would carry them home. They would also use them to keep lit coals later on. We're putting these as well. And these were called spirit lanterns. And it was to both welcome good spirits and ward away evil spirits. And this creepy guy right down here
Yes.
is a cast of a turnip lantern that was taken by the it was at a different museum, but now it's at the National Museum of Ireland. But this guy, the original guy, was carved in 1900.
Wow.
And then everybody, during this 24-hour period, people would wear masks of scary things, different creatures, to trick the fairies. So they would think, you were also some kind of fae, and they wouldn't steal you away, and you would distract them from your ancestors who might be making a journey back and forth. Okay, some of the monsters involved here are the puka. Also, some of us may know this person as Puck. They were goblins. This is Old English for goblin. They would take on all kinds of appearances. They were mischievous, not always bad, but if you were out and about on Samhain, you could run afoul of them. Then there was Lady Gwyn, also the Lady in White.
Okay.
A often headless woman who would wander around distracting travelers. She had a black pig who had no tail. That was always everything I read. They talked about her pig not having a tail. Why? I don't know. I didn't dig that deep. If she's in a bad mood, she will lure you to your death. If she's not, you can pass by without incident. And then there's the Dullahan, which I did not know the Dullahan was a thing. I thought, the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, the Headless Horseman, was created for that. It wasn't. But a headless rider on a black horse carries their own head held high in his hand, believed to be the embodiment of the Celtic god Crom Duw, which is the black something. I can't remember what Crom stood for. But they believed when the Dullahan stops riding, somebody will die. So they yell out the victim's name, pulling their soul away from their body, and they drop dead.
Oh.
So that's the Dullahan.
As he's running, he has a soul. And then when he stops, then it's his.
No, if he stops, somebody around you, like he's the harbinger of doom for
Okay.
a person. Kind of like the banshee as well. You know, if you hear a banshee, somebody's going to die. It's like this, but I guess his call lures the soul away from the body and the person dies. So if you hear a headless person calling for you, don't go. Okay. It's your word of warning for the evening. And
Good.
then there was another. Oh, well, then we're going. So how do we go from turnips to pumpkins? Because, you know, they were originally carved out of turnips or rutabagas. When there was, you know, the Irish famine, etc., the rising in Scotland, a lot of people of Celtic descent immigrated to the U.S. where we have pumpkins. Y'all know pumpkins are easy to carve. So
it's convenience.
it was convenience. And then it just, you know, it exploded. This engraving here at the bottom is from Harper's Weekly from 1867. And it's believed that this is the first instance of a jack-o'-lantern shown in print from the New World. So,
Oh, wow.
but why do we call it a jack-o'-lantern? Do you know why we call it a jack-o'-lantern?
Uh-uh.
Okay. Let me tell you about Stingy Jack.
Oh, dear.
So, the story goes many centuries ago in Ireland,
Oh,
there
good
was.
night, Susan. Susan's out.
Bye, Susan.
Good night.
In Ireland, there was a mean drunkard who was also a smith, as in blacksmith. And he had a silver tongue, and he was known for tricking people. And word got around that he was not a good person. So Satan came and was like, "You're coming with me." And Jack was like, "I don't think so." Well, he played along. He followed along with the devil, and he said, if you're going to take me there, it's going to be hot. I need a drink. So can I have a last ale before we go? And the devil was like, sure. Why not? You're going to be real thirsty for a real long time. So they go to the bar, and Jack's like, I don't have any money. He's like, devil's like, why do I need money? He's like, well, can't you like turn yourself into a coin? It's like, and then once, I have my drink, you can just go back to being Satan again. The devil's like, sure, that sounds like a great idea. So he turns himself into a coin. Jack grabs that coin, puts it in his pocket where he has a crucifix, and the devil can't change back. So he strikes a deal with the devil saying, you leave me alone for 10 years and I will remove you from the realm of the crucifix so you can go back to doing your business. They strike this deal. 10 years pass. Jack is visited again by the devil. And at this point, he's like, well, the jig is up. They're headed south, and Jack sees an apple tree. He's like, can I have an apple? Please. I mean, it's my last meal. Can I please have an apple? But I'm too old and drunk. I can't climb up that tree. And so the devil climbs up the tree. Jack takes the stick, marks the sign of the cross in the trunk of the tree, and the devil's stuck. Devil's stuck in the tree. So Jack has once again outwitted Satan. And
so
at this point, the devil's like, just get me out of this tree, please. And Jack goes, never come for me again, or you're going to be living in this tree. So they make the deal. And Jack is safe from the devil. However, as we know, Jack likes to drink. Early 1600s, alcohol and a hard blacksmithing life doesn't lead for a long life, and he passes away. Now he goes to the pearly gates, and they're like, "No, you don't belong here." And so he goes to meet up with his old friend. He's outwitted twice. He's like, "I need somewhere to go." He's like, "We made a deal." It's like, you're out of luck. But here, I'll give you this ember to light your way as you wander the world. And so he took a turnip. Most people believe it was a rutabaga because it was bigger. Carved a face in it, put the ember in it, and ever since wanders the world. And that is why he is Jack of the Lantern, also called Jack McLantern, Jack-o'-lantern.
Uh-huh.
And it's also a term used for will-o'-the-wisp. Do you know what a will-o'-the-wisp is?
I've heard of it.
They're like little flames that you see that would like draw people off the path.
Okay.
Also called like a Hodney lantern. Right, Claudia? I had no idea either. This was just a random thing. I was like, why do we call it jack-o'-lantern?
But what's interesting is this story obviously was created from more of a Christianity point of view.
Right.
With the cross and the devil and everything.
Yeah.
So
no,
it's interesting. So you think it was started in America or when? It's really interesting.
This started in Ireland.
This started in Ireland.
Yeah.
But
and
so it's one of those things of where like in Ireland
they took something pagan and then tried to Christianify it. And before this story, I mean, it's a folk tale. Before this story, because the spirit lanterns were a thing before Christianity had a hold, Catholicism particularly. And so before the jack-o'-lantern story, the spirit lanterns were supposedly representing souls in purgatory. So, and then, the story happens as well. But
what's purgatory in a pagan theology?
I don't know that there is one in pagan theology.
But the turnips or the rutabagas started with the pagans.
Yeah, and they were to ward away evil spirits and welcome those passing between the veil.
So it turns from kind of a symbol of welcome to a symbol of foreboding.
Right. Yeah.
Sad.
Well, and now we know will-o'-the-wisps are, because they're often found in swampy places. It's just bioluminescence.
Okay.
So it's a naturally occurring thing that people made up stories to pre-science.
Right.
But on Halloween night, keep an eye out for a restless wandering soul. Every time you see a jack-o'-lantern, for it may just be the hellfire glow from Jack's lantern.
Wow. leave it to Christianity to really scare the pants off of you.
But there were two written accounts of Jack McLantern. In 1836, the Dublin Penny Journal had one, and it also talks about Jack getting wishes from an angel in that one. In 1851, this very long, I was like, oh, there's a poem. It's 7 pages long. I wasn't going to read that. By 1851, but it is available on Wikipedia if you want to read it. This is the last page. I just really like the little fairies sitting in the corner. Hercules Ellis was the author of that one. And that's how we got jack-o'-lanterns.
Love it. Love
Let me make this big.
Oh,
A little different from my normal history highlight, but I just, I went down that rabbit hole and I just had to keep going.
Well, it is interesting. It's so interesting how traditions in different cultures and how they permeate in other geographical areas and how they get changed.
Right.
And it's very interesting.
It is. And then do you have a favorite? Do you want to do a favorite? Do you have a favorite thing?
I did not pick a favorite thing.
I can grab one because I have a table full of things right now.
I mean, I could probably pick a lot of things. I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay.
I don't know.
So I'm already planning for next Halloween.
Oh, I can go get something.
Let me see here. Because right now my mantle is dark academia, but next year I want to do like mad scientist display. And I was at my local antique store.
Uh-huh.
And I saw this, which from the outside it doesn't look, it's just a tin box, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm holding my breath.
I'm afraid to just like pull it. Look at these little beaker things.
Oh, wow. Holy. Angela's setting up a laboratory in her basement. That's a very impressive setup you found.
Yeah. And they're all these, they come out. We got little graduated lines at the top.
Wow. Michelle is into it.
Isn't that cool? And this does come all the way out, but I'm afraid to pull too hard. So one is broken. The one has a little chippy on it, but I was so excited.
Pretty cool.
I wasn't gonna, but then I was like, when will I see something else like that? When?
Right. I was just gonna say, I've never seen anything like that. So yeah. Well, I just turned off my ring light, so it's getting dark, but I'm gonna take you to the kitchen really quick. I'm gonna show you. I've been collecting the vintage witch cookie cutters.
Yes.
Well, the reason why is I wanted to make a little garland, and I finally did it. So figured I'd show you. Wait, can you see it?
Oh, they're cute.
I don't know if you can see. Can you see them? So they kind of
love
go.
It.
Yeah,
I know, because when you were at the extravaganza, you're like, "Oh, is there a witch in here?"
Yeah. So I finally did it. I figured, I'm like, oh, I have the moon, because I was waiting to have 5 of them. But I'm like, oh no, I'll just use the moon as the center.
Yeah.
So
the moon is good.
It's cute.
It's a good middle.
Yeah. So that's kind of a new thing. Like one of those little things where it's like, oh, I want to do that. And I finally did it. So.
Well, I do have a quote to end on.
Oh, good.
It's from The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Awesome.
I profess not to know how women's hearts are wooed and won. To me, they have always been matters of riddle and admiration.
That's the right perspective.
Don't try to solve this.
No.
It's impossible.
Nope.
Just bask in the glory. But on that note, I mean, I thought it was going to be a lot longer. Well, y'all know I thought my rabbit hole was going to take a whole lot more time. I tried to condense it a little bit.
Well, I thought it was great. I mean, I felt like our show was just chock full of stuff today. So I think it's good.
Lots of fun.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. So yeah. I think we landed right on the hour. I think it's good, unless you need to discuss any topics.
I don't need to. Man, I talked enough. You hear my voice. Oh. But thanks so much to everybody for coming. If you have some fun Halloween traditions, I'd love to hear what y'all do. Like, do you bob for apples? Do you go ducking for donuts? Do you, I don't know, make popcorn balls? I don't know.
What was that Victorian tradition with the chestnuts? That was something.
Oh, there was a boat race. It was like a chestnut race, wasn't it? Yeah. So yeah, if you're watching this later, drop us your Halloween or Samhain traditions in the comments. I'd love to know. And on that note, have a fantastic evening. Have a wonderful week, and we will see you next Monday on Heather's channel.
That'd be wonderful. I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, guys.